Last month, I had once again the opportunity to read outside of my comfort zone. I joined Criminalist Patreon book club for the month of March, and the book we chose to read was Cop Hater by Ed McBain. This book was first published in 1956, and it is the first one in a series called the 87th Precinct series, which, as its name implies, follows a group of detectives, investigators, and cops as they solve crime in the 87th precinct of a fictional city that very much resembles New York City. I hope I'm remembering that correctly. And these novels are in the police procedural genre, which means that we get quite a lot of detail on how the crimes are solved from an investigative point of view. And there are two main reasons why I really wanted to read this book. The first one is, of course, that I have a lot of respect and admiration for Ollie. Sometimes we have similar opinions in books and sometimes we disagree. But I think in general, if he likes a book, I am very likely to enjoy it as well. And the 87th Precinct book series is just so distinctively Ollie. I don't know if that's the word I wanted to use. What I mean is that he always speaks so highly of them that I now associate both of them. The other reason I really wanted to read Cop Hater is because even though it's out of my comfort zone, it had a lot of potential for me to like it a lot because I do really enjoy police procedurals. Well, I think because before this one I had never read one before, but I did watch a lot of police TV, and I even at some point considered police investigation or crime scene investigation as a career path. So I went into this book with moderate expectations but high hopes. This is Michelle's Melancholia, where we read books to fear and shed a tear, and today we're finding out what I thought about Cop Hater. So I just read chapter 1 of Cop Hater, and honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take this book seriously. Although everyone on the Discord have been saying that they really liked it, and many of them are women. So I'm going to trust them and keep reading. And the reason I mentioned that many of these are women is because just from chapter 1, this seems like such a man book. In chapter 1, we follow a man who's getting ready to go to work, and I guess he has the night shift because it's like 11 p.m. and before it is explicitly revealed, it is implied that he is a cop because he has a gun. And there is just a lot of attention drawn to the fact that he is a manly man. He is very tall, very strong, very horny, and he drinks his coffee black. And this is not a spoiler because it's literally the description of the plot. He ends up dead, murdered. In some parts, the writing is very dramatic, and this is not a negative. I like dramatic writing, but I just wanted to share a passage with you because I found it a little bit funny. He had been a citizen of the city, and now his blood poured from his broken face and spread around him in a sticky red smear. Another citizen found him at 11:56 and went to call the police. There was very little difference between the citizen who rushed down the street to a phone booth and the citizen named Mike Reardon, who lay crumpled and lifeless against the concrete. Except one, Mike Reardon was a cop. I'm really enjoying the book, more than I thought I would actually. I love the idea of the series being based around a whole group of detectives in the precinct rather than following just a few characters. It reminds me of police procedure TV shows that I used to watch with my dad, kind of like NCIS and things like that. And I do find it very interesting when they are out in the field doing their investigations. That being said, it is so sexist. Help! I knew it was written in the 50s, but it wasn't like on the forefront of my mind, so I was a bit taken aback. But it's fine, we take it for what it is. I'll continue reading. I'm hoping to finish it tonight or tomorrow, and I'll come back with some final thoughts. So I've read about half of Cop Hater now, and I feel like I don't have that much to say about it. I mean, it's good, it's pretty entertaining, but I'm not crazy about it. And it's really hard to pinpoint why. I like most of the characters. I really like how the police work is explained and written, and how we have police reports and snippets of other documents to read. That's pretty fun. You know, I love any kind of mixed media. But yeah, it's just not amazing, but also not bad, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm not sure what else I can say about it. So I'll just finish it in the next day or two, and then I'll just give my final review. As I mentioned in one of my vlog clips, this was good but not great. I think there were two main weaknesses, or two only weaknesses really. The first one is that the female characters were appallingly written. They really were only seen either as a diligent housewife or the sexy companion to the honky detective. Also, it was kind of weird how some of the detectives were constantly sexualizing their co-worker's wife. That's not normal, is it? I feel like maybe there would be an excuse for these, because these type of characterization does play a role in the story, but I have also heard that this is the case for other books in the series as well. And although this is not a complete deal breaker for me, it does put me off a little bit. The other issue that I had is that it would be best to read this in one go, but I would have to dedicate it a couple of hours in one day, which I don't usually have, because once I started reading, I was really into the story, but whenever I put it down, I felt like I had trouble picking it back up. I was always just tempted to read something else instead. But other than that, honestly, I really enjoyed how the author builds the precinct in this fictional city, how he described the different areas in the city, the different gangs in there, and also the description of where these detectives and cops work, and the police procedures were really nicely described as well. It was very immersive in that respect, and the writing was also good. The story was solid, there was enough intrigue, mystery, tension, and the story really does flow really nicely, like the choice of words and the way everything is structured. I really felt like the author cared about his craft rather than just telling the story in a straightforward way. So, would I read more books in this series? In theory, yes. But I do wonder, given the huge amount of books that are in my TBR already, I don't know when I'll actually gravitate to picking up the next in the series. So I guess you'll have to subscribe and stay tuned to see if I actually do. But in general, it was a great experience. I loved reading one of Ollie's all-time favorites. And as always, if you have read this book or any of the others in this series, let me know what you think down below. And also tell me if there are any other police procedural books that you recommend to me. And I will see you in my next video, hopefully very soon. Goodbye!